Pro Vehicle Outlines WrapUP is an easy-to-use quoting application created specifically for vehicle graphics design, production, and installation. WrapUP provides a quick and automated way to provide accurate, professional vehicle graphics quotes to your customers. In this video, I'll be going through how to use PVO WrapUP. First, ensure you are logged into your account. Go to the template library by clicking on the template selection at the top of the PVO website. Find the template you'd like to work on using the available search criteria found at the top. Click on the WrapUP button available within the tile of the desired template. The template will open in the WrapUP app. To get started, we'll need to fill in some information under Settings. Click on the gear icon on the right. With the settings open, you'll see 5 tabs at the top, so let's work our way from left to right. Under the Company tab, start by filling in your company and contact information. Once completed, you can load a logo for your company on the left. Click on Add Logo and browse to the JPEG or PNG containing your company logo. Click on the disk icon to the right to save your company information. The next tab to the right is the Pricing tab. This is where you'll input information on all the costs involved in the job. The first button under the Pricing tab is the Unit button, used to set the measurement system you'll be using, in either imperial or metric. Next is the Materials button. Here we'll start by creating a new substrate, or printable material. We'll call it Test Vinyl and set the material to Substrate. The field below is linked to the quote generation, so input the pricing you want to charge the client. We'll charge $10 per square foot. It'll be based on the measurement system you previously chose. The bleed amount is the amount your graphic will extend beyond the template edge, which will allow the design to go to the edge of the vinyl when you cut it out ready for application. For this example, we'll use a bleed of 2 inches. The fill color will be the color of the boxes representing this material when drawn on the template. When you click Save, Test Vinyl will now appear in the drop-down list. We now have the option to add laminates. Go to the drop-down list and select New. We'll call this Test Laminate. Select the laminate type from the drop-down list. We'll charge $5 per square foot and give it a bleed amount of 2 inches. The next button on the left is the tax rate. This value will be what your local tax rate is. Here at PVO headquarters, it's 13%, so we'll type in 13. Next is the design cost. This customer wants us to design the graphics as well as install the wrap. We'll put in a flat rate of $400 for the design. For removal, there is no previous wrap to remove, so we can skip this field. For preparation, we estimated a flat rate of $300. The install can be based on the square footage of vinyl used, but you can also set pricing for a flat rate or hourly cost. For this job, we'll charge by the hour. We'll set the rate to $60 an hour with a job taking 7 hours to complete. Finally, the last field is travel. If we have to travel to the site of the client's vehicle, we'll charge either a flat rate or hourly rate. The client is bringing their vehicle to our shop, so we can skip this field. Save the pricing information by clicking on the disk icon to the right. The next tab at the top is Customers. This is where you store the information of your clients. When adding a new client, fill out their name, address, and contact information. Save this information using the disk icon on the right, and the client record will be saved to the drop-down list. Now that we have our required information, we can start by creating the quote. Clicking on the Home button on the top right will bring up the original template we used to launch WrapUP. The vehicle that will be wrapped is the 2020 Toyota Tacoma with a 6-foot bed. Once the template appears, we can begin our estimate. Let's assume this customer wants a complete wrap on both sides of the truck, the tailgate, as well as the roof and the hood. We'll start with the sides of the truck. Click on the Draw Box icon on the right. A box appears in the center of the screen. Click on the tab with 3 dots on the left side. A measurements panel will slide out. We can give the wrap element a name and assign substrates or laminates, as well as check measurements. We'll call it driver's side and select Test Vinyl for substrate and Test Laminate for laminate. Next, drag the box over the driver's side area and size it with the handles to match the side of the vehicle. We can use the Copy button with the driver's side box selected to create the passenger side, then rename and move the copy to the position of the passenger side. Use the Copy button one last time to create a box for the tailgate. Rename the box and position and size it over the tailgate section. For the roof and hood, there are special tools if the template you selected doesn't have a top view of the vehicle such as this one. They are the Draw Hood and Draw Roof icons. If the template does include the top-down view, you can simply use the Draw Box tool as you've done previously with the sides. When clicking on the Draw Roof icon, you'll see two lines appear on the template. This element is automatically named Roof in the Measurements panel on the left. The long line represents the roof from front to back, and the short line represents the roof from left to right. Place the long line segment along the roof in the side view, and place the short line segment along the front or back view of the vehicle. Once you have them aligned correctly, you can edit the length and position of the segments to fit the vehicle more accurately by clicking and dragging on their points. The hood is measured the same way. Click on the Draw Hood icon on the right. You'll see two smaller lines appear on the template. They'll be automatically named Hood in the Measurements panel. Place the angled line segment along the hood on a side view, and the straight segment along the hood on the front view. You can then readjust by clicking and dragging their points. If you decide you don't want one of the measurements you've created, you can simply click on the trash can icon at the top left of the selected item to delete it. At this point, we're done with the measuring, so we'll click Settings, or the gear button found on the right, and select the Quote tab. Based on the pricing information we input earlier, and the measurements we've just set on the template, we can see that this quote has been generated automatically. WrapUP will create the estimate for your customer by selecting them from the drop-down list that you previously saved. The customer information will populate the appropriate fields in the quote form. In the fields under the customer drop-down list, we can include the type of job and any extra information about this project. Once we're happy with all of the information, we can email the quote. Make sure everything you've input is accurate and complete. Once you click on Email Quote, the email will be sent to the customer. After it's been set, the quote will appear in the Quote History tab. You can see we've done a number of quotes for different customers. That's your overview for Pro Vehicle Outline's WrapUP. As we mentioned earlier, you'll be able to create and send professional, accurate quotes very quickly using this tool. If you don't already have Pro Vehicle Outline's WrapUP, please visit ProVehicleOutlines.com or call 1-888-843-1325.